Welcome to Ghost Stories Online. This week, we will hear about the Enfield Poltergeist. The Enfield Poltergeist was a claim of supernatural activity at 284 Green Street, a council house in London, England, between 1977 and 1979. The alleged poltergeist activity centered around sisters Janet and Margaret Hudson. In 1977, single-parent Peggy Hodgson called the Metropolitan Police to her rented home at 284 Green Street in Enfield, London, claiming she had witnessed furniture moving and that 2 of her 4 children had heard knocking sounds on the walls. The children included Janet, aged 11, and Margaret, aged 13. A woman police constable reported witnessing a chair wobble and slide, but could not determine the cause of the movement. Later claims included disembodied voices, loud noises, thrown toys, overturned chairs, and children levitating. Over a period of 18 months, more than 30 people, including the Hodgson's neighbors, paranormal investigators, and journalists, said they variously saw heavy furniture moving of its own accord, objects being thrown across a room, and the sisters seeming to levitate several feet off the ground. Many also heard and recorded knocking noises and a gruff voice. The story was regularly covered in the Daily Mirror newspaper until reports came to an end in 1979. Investigators reported curious whistling and barking noises coming from Janet's general direction. Although they maintained the paranormal activity was genuine and wrote in a book later that an entity was to blame for the Enfield disturbances, often doubting the children's veracity and wondering if they were playing tricks. Still, they believed that even though some of the alleged poltergeist activity was faked by the girls, other incidents were genuine. Others were not so convinced. Janet was detected in trickery. A video camera in an adjoining room caught her bending spoons and attempting to bend an iron bar. One investigator had observed Janet banging a broom handle on the ceiling and hiding his tape recorder. One of Janet's voices, who she called Bill, displayed a habit of suddenly changing the topic, which was a habit that Janet also had. When Janet and Margaret admitted pranking to the journalists, they compelled the girls to retract their confessions, and the investigators were mocked by other researchers for being easily duped. An American stage magician briefly investigated the Enfield occurrences and failed to observe anything that could be called paranormal. He was dismayed by what he felt was suspicious activity on the part of Janet, later concluding that the poltergeist was nothing more than the antics of a little girl who wanted to cause trouble and who was very, very clever. A ventriloquist visited the house and concluded that Janet's male voices were simply vocal tricks. These vocal tricks were done with the help of false vocal cords above the larynx. One more way that the girls tried to fool investigators was by jumping off the bed as if it were a trampoline and having a picture taken in mid-air to make it look like they were levitating. Are investigators correct? Did the 2 girls fake everything? Or was there at least a little bit of truth and validity to what they were saying? Thank you for listening to Ghost Stories Online. If you did enjoy this story, please leave a like, and if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on. That way you get every ghost story every single Friday evening. Thank you again for listening to Ghost Stories Online.